Hello, this is Dr. Go. Today I'd like to talk about some important technical considerations in Paganini Caprice number 10 that are actually very important in all of violin playing. Okay? And it's mainly to do with hand frame. Okay? Now, there are many aspects that we can pick on and study in Paganini Caprice number 10. However, today I'm just picking this one because it's something that's not understood very well. Okay? There are two basic hand frames. There's more than two, but two basic ones that are easy to start with. Those are the regular octave hand frame and the figured octave hand frame. What's the difference? Regular octave hand frame is just where you play an octave with first and fourth finger. Okay? Yeah? So it's, okay, so that's regular octave hand frame. We use them for single stops, and for the double stops, we use them for the intervals of seconds, thirds, fourths, fifths, sixths, sevenths, and of course, octaves. Sorry for my horrible handwriting. I'm famous for having horrible handwriting. This is the best handwriting I can actually manage. Okay, now, figured octave hand frame. Okay, in single stops, we use them for spider fingering and extensions. What's spider fingering? That's when you when you really reach, and sometimes we do from one position we reach high and then the whole hand adjusts to a new position. That's spider fingering. Okay, extension is just you extend, or you extend the other way. Okay, so that's the fingered octave hand frame. Now, double stops, we have, of course, the fingered octaves. That means you're playing octaves with 1-3 or 2-4. Instead of 4-1, in a regular hand frame, we're doing 3-1 or 4-2. Okay, so those are fingered octaves. Octaves in the fingered octave hand frame: ninths, 10ths, 11ths, 12ths, 13ths, and 14ths. Okay, normally we don't play that many 11ths, 12ths, 13ths, and 14ths. I mean, Stravinsky Violin Concerto, we start with the 11th. Okay, and Wieniawski Concerto number 1 in the third movement, there are stretches of the 14th in the runs in the back. But other than that, usually those are a little bit more rare. But that's from the same hand frame. Okay, so these are the two different hand frames. Paganini teaches this inside this Caprice number 10. Okay, now he teaches a few other things too, but this was one I like to focus on because he does it really well. If you look in 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, bar 7, he starts. Okay, and it keeps coming back, and he's teaching us, instead of going like going first finger and then putting down the fourth finger, which is inconsistent for people that don't have a set hand frame yet. He teaches to go from 4 to 1. Okay, now let me explain this. Young players, their hand frame isn't set yet. They don't know quite where everything is on the violin fingerboard. Of course, those of us who have played for 30, 40, 50 years, yes, we know where things are because we've tortured ourselves through it. But for young players or beginning players, players that are less experienced, they don't quite know where that is. So it's easier for them to feel from fourth finger a gentle curve from the tip of the pinky to the base of the elbow. Some people say from the tip of the pinky to the base of the wrist. I found for my students, tip of the pinky to the base of the elbow is easier for them to grasp onto in their heads mentally. Okay, so fourth finger, reach down to first. They have their hand frame set from the fourth finger down to their elbow, and they can adjust their first finger, which is much more mobile and it's a lot stronger. Okay, Paganini knew this, so he sets that up like that. Okay, so that's one thing, and he does that well. Now, later on, he starts doing all this. Okay, and you can see it's a seventh. It's basically, if you go to, that's a seventh if you change the string. Of course, he's doing. he's doing one string over, okay? But he's already starting to set up that hand frame. And so he knows once you set up 1, 3, whatever the string is, it's easy to Okay, so this whole caprice for the left hand sets up the hand frame beautifully. It may be one of the best written exercises that I've ever seen for setting this up. Okay, so if you have students that are getting close but they don't quite understand the regular octave hand frame, the regular one, this is a great caprice. And you can apply this, okay, the idea of starting from the fourth finger, reaching down to the first and adjusting the first finger, you can apply this to all of the other caprices that he has where we start like with octaves, like say number 8, number 7, yeah, so many in the back as well, okay? So this is something you guys can really look into until their hand frames are set. Once the hand frames are set, yes, it's much more musical to sing from the first finger and to feel and play both fingers simultaneously independently. That way everything is adjusting, sounding in tune and sounding beautifully. It sings out, okay? But in the beginning, if they can't feel the hand frame, they can't play it in tune, start from the fourth finger first, as Mr. Paganini shows us, okay? Wishing you guys the best. I hope you guys could find something useful in this. Again, if anything I'm saying is different than what your teachers are saying, please ignore me, listen to your teachers, okay? However, if not, by all means, please give this a shot, okay? Cheers.